Good morning, wonderful people. Welcome to my channel. I just figured that we could do with some full screen landscape version of some teaching here. It's been quite some time and I'm just doing some shorts and all, isn't it? Well, I want to get back to the Mahadasha concepts because I'm finding that even in my readings, everybody these days understands just like a piecemeal basis of astrology because of seeing all the YouTube, isn't it? And they pick parts of it, and there's a lot of misunderstanding going on. So just always back to basics is a very, very good approach. Very good approach. Even for myself, as in time to time, let me get back to that textbook. Let me see what this is really about. You know, that kind of thing. So there. For all my listeners on Spotify, Apple, welcome. So we are going to deal in this one with Mahadasha concepts. What is the fractal time system of Jyotish or Vedic astrology? Okay. So what a Mahadasha really is. When I analyze Mahadasha's in any chart, I don't read them as time periods alone. I treat them as karmic atmospheres, sort of the karmic lens or the karmic activation point, you might say. Lens is not the correct word. Activation point, meaning something comes to fruition. It's like the karma is always there lurking as seeds in the background. And the universe has a way of delivering that particular seed when it starts to germinate, bloom, sprout out of the soil, if you might call it. Whenever it tends to do that is a matter of timing. That's what this whole Mahadasha system essentially is. A Mahadasha is a planetary era that activates a dominant chakra, awakens a specific element, tattva, shapes your psychology, desires and choices according to what shows up. See, there's something in external reality as a situation, as a circumstance which shows up. And you react to it. Action, reaction, right? So it activates your psychology in a certain way based on whatever your chart is, Panchanga is, and so on. It activates your desires and it also activates certain choices that you will make in those time periods. Everything is for the sake of soul growth anyway, isn't it? Turns the native into the planet's archetype. That means a warrior, a scholar, a teacher, a rebel and lover, etc. We'll see this in the coming slides. Your core document. Well, it says your core document because everything is correlated by AI with my core documents. It's my 2 courses I attended. So a Mahadasha is a planetary time cycle representing karmic activation, inner transformation and life reorientation. We are moving on a constant fractal of time. It's like a never-ending elevator which has got subdivisions, and we shall see this as we go along through this particular season. Every Mahadasha reorients the soul's GPS, so to speak. It shifts identity, worldview, priorities, relationships, motivations, and the types of opportunities that manifest. That's number 1. Now let's see number 2. How the starting of a Mahadasha is calculated. Moon's nakshatra determines your first Mahadasha. Okay, whatever your moon nakshatra is. If your moon's nakshatra is a moon nakshatra, for example, Hasta, Rohini or Shravana, it activates that first. So you begin with the moon Mahadasha, for example. If it is Sun Mahadasha like Kritika, you'll start with Sun and then go progressively. We shall see these progressions a little bit later on. The moon's pada determines how much of that Mahadasha is left at birth. It's not necessarily starting from 0. There is some Dasha Sandhi that has already happened. There's some Dasha progression that has happened, not Sandhi. The order of progression of dasas is always fixed. That is, it starts from Ketu, goes to Venus, Sun, Moon, Mars, Rahu, Jupiter, Saturn, Mercury, and then it repeats over again. That means to say, if you are born in a moon nakshatra, for example, you will first start with moon when you're born, then you'll go to Mars, then you'll go to Rahu, Jupiter, Saturn, and Mercury. If, let's say, you're born in a Saturn ruled nakshatra, like Anuradha, Uttara Bhadrapada, whatever. If you're born in Saturn nakshatra, if your moon is there, then it goes to Mercury and then it jumps back here to beginning Ketu, Venus, Sun, Moon. You see what I'm saying? That means if moon is in the early pada, you begin early in that Mahadasha. If the moon is later in the pada, you begin closer to its end. This single calculation sets the tone for lifetime karma sequencing. Let's take the next one. How to judge a Mahadasha. Okay. We are saying how to essentially judge a Mahadasha. Okay. So, your foundational 14 rules of determining analysis in a Mahadasha. You become the kind of planet. In Mars, you tend to become very, very aggressive, so to speak, isn't it? Its Karaka houses awaken. That means if it's Mars Mahadasha, I'll take just Mars as the example. Aries is awakened and Scorpio is awakened, for example. And wherever it sits in is awakened in your chart specifically. Its placement house filters all results. Its ruled houses activate. Wherever it is ruling, that activate. Its placement house filters all results. So if Mars is exalted, debilitated, it will filter all these results. Its sign shows the psychological style that you will work through. Okay, that's number one. Nakshatra. Which nakshatra? Mars ruled nakshatras will also get activated. That means to say, if we are talking about Mars here, what is going to get activated? Vrikshira, Chitra and Dhanishta. Its pada sets the timing peaks. What pada it is going in sets the timing peaks. Attractive planets in its star also activate. The divisional strengths, the Vimshopaka, I'm not going to go into that detail now, I'm just giving the basic rules. Decide if the outcomes manifest fully or not. Sometimes what happens, the karma is there, the fruition has not got enough water for it to bloom. That's the strength factor. The Dasha Pravesh or entry of the Dasha and the Varsha Fal, meaning the yearly fruits of what it will give, refine the annual unfolding. This is why two people with the same Sun Mahadasha will have completely different outcomes. Every step in the chain modifies the karmic texture. And just go into the next video after this, because my OBS studio and my PC starts getting hot. That's basically it. Okay. So up until now, remember these first three basic rules. To judge a Mahadasha, you become the planet. In Sun, you become very egoistic. In Saturn, you just slog like a donkey, essentially. Okay? So you can keep these things unfolding. You will see the progression of a Mahadasha according to what a person's, wherever it is placed. Saturn in the 6th house, you'll be really slogging in the Saturn Mahadasha. Saturn in the 8th house. In Saturn Mahadasha, you'll be dealing with all kinds of hidden issues, inheritance, property, that kind of stuff. And we can keep going down that rabbit hole, but we are now reviewing only essential concepts. I shall see you in the next.